three styles of animation. There's traditional animation that involves cartoons such as Batman, Donald Duck, SpongeBob, and Samurai Jack that are shot using a camera and pencil test machine. The second type of animation is 2D, or web animation, which can be found on the internet. This style of animation can be created through computer software like Flash and Director. The majority of this animation is what you call vector-based, used for company logos, web shows, and advertisements. The final and most high-tech style of animation is 3D. You've probably seen movies like Toy Story, Jimmy Neutron, Monsters, Inc., and Shrek. These are animations that are created with computers using programs such as 3D Studio Max and Maya. Not only is 3D animation used for cartoons, it's also used for video games. You may have been playing your Xbox, GameCube, or PlayStation 2 and not even notice 3D animation. In this web module, I'm going to touch on how to create simple facial expressions. I'll teach you shortcuts, tips, and tricks that will get you started on the basics of the head and its features. After you know the basics, you can start to create your own style of character faces. A cartoonist, or animator, or illustrator has the same job as an actor: to make the audience feel what the character is feeling, to make the audience understand what a character's mood or attitude is. The only difference between an actor and a cartoonist is cartoonists have to draw the characters instead of acting them out. Before I start, I want to discuss a very important tool that will help improve your characters. The most important thing to use as a character artist is a mirror. Using a mirror, whether it's creating a facial expression or a body gesture, is the most important reference. Usually when I do a class, I like to touch on a little bit besides drawing the cartoons, so you guys can get like an idea of what the background of cartooning is. It's not too much. Cartoons developed from scratchings on cave walls as early as the Stone Age. So now you know just a little bit of history about cartooning. Next, this is a tip for you guys. Cartooning is a good way to relieve stress. Say you're in school and you got a bully picking on you, and you don't want to fight him, and you're trying to avoid him and stuff. Just to stay out of trouble, to relieve that stress, all you gotta do is sit down and draw him, make fun of him, but don't show it to him. The next thing is, cartooning is fun, because no matter what, you're the boss. You're the boss of everything when you cartoon. You decide the character's personality, you decide the camera angles, the way you want your scene to be set up. It's all up to you in cartooning. Nobody can tell you what to draw. And last, it's like everything, practice makes perfect. You can't be good at cartooning unless you practice. Same thing with football, wrestling, any kind of sports, school, and your job. Practice makes perfect. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start cartooning. First thing we're going to do is draw a man. And with that man, we're going to learn how to draw the features, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and all that. So, you guys get out a piece of paper and a pencil, and I'll pull out my sketch pad. Now, don't forget, when you're cartooning, always use a mirror. Mirrors are very important for facial expressions. Alright, I'm going to start with a Sharpie marker, but I want you guys to start with a pencil. Pencil and eraser. The only reason I can't start with a pencil is because the camera doesn't pick up pencil marks on a sketch pad. The first thing you want to do is when you start any kind of head, or any kind of body part, is you pick a basic shape. What you think that character's shape would be for his head. We're going to start out with an oval. So go ahead and draw an oval. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. The next thing you want to do is draw guidelines. And guidelines, what they do is they guide the features of the face, even the ears, and sometimes the hair. So guidelines would be a line down the middle, which is, or another one horizontal, side to side. Now these guidelines, you can put them on top of the head, you can put them on the bottom of the head, you can put them low in the face. It's all up to you because it's your cartoon. It all depends on where you want your face to be looking and what kind of face the cartoon character make. The next thing you want to do after you draw your guidelines is draw your eyes. And all eyes are simple ovals if you want them big, or just basic shapes, any kind of shape you want. What we're going to do is we're going to start on an oval. So what you would do is draw two ovals and use your guidelines, one on each side of the guideline. Now, this line line going across from side to side, that's where you want to put your pupils, if that's where you want them. Just make sure you use your guidelines, and make sure you use your mirror at the same time. So just any kind of pupils you want, I'm just going to put circular pupils like that. Alright? And in the middle of the pupils, to make the eyes reflect, or to make it look like white, or, reflection of a mirror, or a light or something, is in the eyes. All you got to do is draw an exclamation point inside the eye like this. And then color in the black part of the eye for the pupil. And the same thing with the other pupil. You just draw almost like a bubble exclamation point, color around the exclamation point, which leaves it white and the pupil itself black. Now, what you want to do next is throw the eyebrows on there. Any kind of eyebrows you want. Remember, it's all basic shapes. Any kind of shape you want. I'm going to make my shape like a rectangle, but I want to bend my rectangle a little bit. And you can put it anywhere in the eye you want. Depending on what kind of facial expression you want, you gotta look in the mirror and see where your eyebrows are. If you're happy, your eyebrows are gonna be a little bit high, If you're really excited. If you're mad, your eyebrows are gonna be really low on the eye. My guy's just chilling. So we'll make the eyebrows right there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the nose. Now the nose, again, anything you want, any kind of shape you want. I like to keep my nose open. I don't like to create a full shape and close the shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw something really simple. Any kind of shape you want. Draw a line and a W, like a wave underneath it for the nose. Something simple. You can draw a fat nose. You can draw a skinny nose, like a pencil. It's all up to you. It's your cartoon. After you draw the nose, you're going to draw the mouth. Now with the mouth, just like everything else, it's a basic shape. You draw a smile, so I'll draw my guy smiling. He looks pretty happy. Like that. Then you draw a line across, and the tongue inside. Now make this mouth look like it has depth. Color in the inside of the mouth, or the back of the mouth, a dark color. I was watching a Warner Bros. Cartoon the other day, and the back of the character's mouth was really dark blue. So it doesn't matter what color the back of the character's mouth is, as long as you can identify what it is. And it shows depth. Now break down the mouth one more time for you guys. That's what I want to do. Draw a shape, right? You throw the line across the shape, inside of it. You throw in the tongue, any kind of tongue you want, and then color in the back of the mouth. That's basically it for the mouth. Now, we're going to go ahead and do some hair. This guy, let's put his hair, any kind of hair you want, doesn't matter, it's your cartoon. I'll use my guidelines and make some spiky hair. Alright? And don't forget your ears. My ears, I'm just going to put circles, regular circles on the side that connect to the side of his head, like that. And then the inside of the ears, what I'm going to draw is a city and another city backwards, just like that. And then you can even give them some more detail. Any kind of detail you want, doesn't matter. It's going to be my guy like that. After you have your pencil character like the way you want, what you do is you ink it in. Ink it over top of all your pencil. Make sure you erase your guidelines if you don't want to keep the guidelines there. After you ink it in, what you can do is color it however you want. You can add shadow. You can maybe he's cut up or something. Maybe he's so happy that his face is really red. He's so happy. Anything you want. Pick any colors you want. So that's basically the man. Now what I want to do is move on to learn how to draw a woman. Something easy. We do like the first thing we did here. We just pick a certain shape. Pick a shape. I usually use like a diamond shape for my women. Not all the time, most of the time. So get out my piece of paper, and we'll start with a diamond shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. Very basic diamond. You have pointy edges or you can have rounded edges. Doesn't matter. Now, just like you did the first character, you want to throw your guidelines in there. So you want one down the middle, like that. Then you want one across. Now this line going across, this can vary. You can have it up, higher, or down lower, depending on where you want your eyes and all your features pressed. I'm just going to leave it in the middle for now. Keep it simple. Now, makes women stand out more than men? The eyelashes. So what we're going to do is draw basic ovals, just like we did with the man. You can draw ovals, circles, whatever you want. I'm going to draw two ovals. One on each side of the guideline. Use your guidelines. And then I'm going to draw pupils. Then inside the pupils, just like the first character, draw the exclamation point, color around the exclamation point inside the pupils. So that way, the eye looks like it's shimmering, it's reflecting light, it's just sparkling, like this character is standing out. Now, you're going to draw the eyebrows. Now, women like to pluck their eyebrows. Don't ask me why, but they like to pluck their eyebrows. So, women's eyebrows are a little bit skinnier, So go ahead and draw almost like a teardrop type of eyebrow. And make them skinnier. Now, they look like regular eyes to me, like they can go on any character. But with the eyelashes, after you put the eyelashes on, it's going to look like a woman. You're going to tell us if the character's going to be a woman. So, this is how you do the eyelashes. All you do is add 3 little lines like that and connect the lines. They're just like lines. That's all they are, like 3 lines on top of the eye. Just like that. And you color the eyelash in to make it look like she has maybe mascara on, darken it up a little bit. And then the same thing with the other eye. Just draw 3 lines and make the lines thicker or darker. There you go. And there, the woman's eyes.
And this is where we're going to stop and go to part 2. I had to chop it into 2 sections because it wouldn't upload unless I did that. So go ahead and log into the second part of the art of cartooning.